What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today I want to talk to you about him and hers health. I want to go over some of the data points, what's influencing it, and what shorts are up to. Before we get into any of that, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up, and with that, let's get right to it. So it is down 5.92%, 53.70 the low, 62.70 the high. So you're seeing a lot of volatility today. And in my opinion, it's actually kind of comical on how all of this is playing out. So you did have this nice spike up as the market digested the data. So early this morning we had PPI and retail sales. Both essentially came in better than anticipated. So PPI came in at -0.5, forecast of 0.2. Retail sales month over month 0.1 versus a forecast of -0.1. So both essentially were good. Then you also did have Powell, but ultimately he didn't really say too much of concern. But in reality, this is one thing I really hated about 2024 is that we had good data, but we didn't really know how the market was going to take it. No different than this right here. So we do have, again, like I said, good data, but that's not what the market wants because good data doesn't justify rate cuts. So in my opinion, all of this right here, this is the market reacting accordingly, and then this is the market throwing a tantrum that most likely for the June and possibly even the July meeting, that the likelihood of a cut is going poof. So it is rather comical on how this is all playing out. So at the end of the day, I think it's you need to stick to the actual data points, and the data is showing that the economy is strong, and many stocks, based on their earnings, even HIMS included, is thriving in this current interest rate environment. So at the end of the day, I think it is just another good reason to potentially buy the dip, but what do I know? You guys do whatever floats your boat. Aside from that though, you're also having the market digest kind of Walmart's doom and gloom. So the last earnings, as well as this one that they announced early this morning, both said that for future guidance, like consumers are going to get screwed basically from the tariffs. So more doom and gloom, like I said, but that kind of didn't really do too much at the end of the day, in my opinion, as far as damage. But today, no news from HIMS, no SEC filings, nothing along those lines. They did participate in this morning. I haven't actually listened to it yet, so I'm going to listen, and my next HIMS video will give you a quick summary of that. But the JP Morgan 53rd Annual Global Tech Media and Communications Conference. So I think it was like a 35-minute fireside chat. So hopefully some good things did occur. So that occurred at 10:40. So pretty much that kind of caused a nice push higher as a result. So I'm sure there were some pretty good things that was stated from there. So if you did listen in, if you have a quick summary, let me know in the comments below. But aside from that though, you are having shorts return 184,000 shares. So pretty much a drop in the bucket. They're not really doing all that much today. 33.83% of the free floats being shorted works out to be 65.83 million shares. So this stock has some pretty deep pocketed enemies, and it's interesting. I always find it interesting, not even aside from him and hers, but any stock out there having like a 30, 40, 50% kind of short interest when they are kind of having the growth that him and hers is getting. It's just like I can't put myself in the shorts' shoes on why they think it would be a good idea. So again, what do I know in life? So let me know your viewpoint on that. So for those of you that still do believe that this stock is a squeeze play, essentially is still on the table and shorts are still lingering around. But based on the options today, 50 million in calls, 28 million in puts, 48% of all the options being done today are bearish in nature. And most of that is actually while it was going down because of the broader market. So last minute jitters. And with that said though, last minute jitters, there's also data coming out tomorrow, so we might have a little bit of a pullback. There's 1 hour left in the trading day, so we might have a little bit of a pullback here as people are worried about the Michigan consumer sentiment. So over the last 5 reports, 4 of them has prompted a very aggressive pullback in the market. So that's going to be one thing to watch for at 9 a.m. tomorrow. But going back over here, 79 million in total premiums, 102 yesterday, 179 the day before. So today is a little bit low on the overall volume front. and put/call ratio is at 0.85. So kind of shows that there's a little bit more kind of downside on that note. But aside from all that fun stuff though, based on the bulls, you're seeing a consensus for it to be roughly around that $65 range. Bears are anticipating for it to be sub roughly 50. So kind of polar opposites at the end of the day. With tomorrow being Friday, this is kind of some of the open interest, so just take note of that. We've seen shorts, not necessarily with HIMS, but many other stocks, they get a little bit more active on Friday, just to ensure that a stock is suppressed below a certain strike price, right? They, alongside market makers, have a financial interest in ensuring various stocks close below, for instance, 60, because there is 11,000 at that $60 strike price. There is 1,000 at that 61, 8,000 at that 65, and then you also have 12,000 at that 50, but I think that's a little bit far-fetched for them to try to manipulate that. These are all the transactions occurring so far in the secondary market above $100,000. So throughout this, you see a lot of big buys. So big money definitely is buying the dip, and this is why I like to look at the volume, where it's coming from. So like I said, big money definitely is buying that. Even on the dark pool, very popular stuff as per usual, so that's definitely good to see. With it right now though, at 57 and change, it is trading between this R3 and this R2, so 59.61 is going to be that kind of key pivot for it in the short term. If it is able to get above that, then essentially you could see a very nice run. There was a new analyst rating that was posted after hours yesterday, $45 hold, Triest, and this individual who has a 31% success rating. So not all that great all in all. So let me know your thoughts on this stock. Are you buying? Are you selling? Are you liking these updates? Like I said in my last video, I have never really covered HIMS in the past, but a lot of individuals have really wanted it. So yeah, I can definitely continue doing this, just reading the data, giving you a quick overview of where it might be going and so forth. And keep in mind, today's volatility is also stemming from it, alongside pretty much the majority of the market being considered very overbought. And you can see that based on the stochastic RSI. So that's kind of happens. Nothing really wrong with that. Any stock running up to this same magnitude that HIMS has done, you're going to have a certain level of profit taking at the first sign of fear. And even in general, over the last 1 month, it is up 96.51%. So definitely still, in my opinion, that's a huge success. But honestly, that's the only negative thing to bring up on the actual chart. It's above all the key pivotal moving averages. It's just overbought. So potentially with tomorrow's data point, the Michigan consumer sentiment forecast for that right now is 52.5. If that is negative, so below 50, then the market is really going to freak the hell out. So you're going to see again some kind of negative downside to that. So just watch for a lot of the support and resistance points overall. So let me know your viewpoint on all of this. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. Do you believe that HIMS is a squeeze play? Is that why you're getting in? Do you like the fundamental business? What's your kind of general thoughts on HIMS? And then one final thing, pop over to my Patreon and give buy signals on stocks, options, crypto. Many of them that I put out on a daily basis are absolutely on point and bangers. Even United Health, as unfortunate as that pullback was, called the bottom, called the peak, and I post all of those pretty much the morning or even the night prior night. So it's simply just reading the chart. It's not that difficult, but definitely worthwhile to pop over there and take a look. So link in the description below and also comments. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.